So this meeting is about nothing. Nothing can be reached. There's no point in this meeting. There's nothing to reach. There will be no change so that there will something end, or there will be no problems anymore, or maybe no stress anymore. This meeting is not about feeling good. Most meetings are about how you can reach that state, or something like there's something for me in it and it's going to be better. This meeting is not about that. There's also saying this message, it's a message. It's not the truth. It's not something I know. It's just the sharing of something that seems to be there. And there seems to be no hope. That's also something that we are so into hope that sometimes it will go better, or there will be maybe no me anymore. Because these meetings are about no me. There's always, when there's feeling like, or there's very, very obvious, there's someone here and trying to deal with everything that's going on in your life or in life, or there's trying to know. Most of the time, a lot of people are trying to know and trying to get a solution about their problems and know how everything is going, and know how, for example, non-duality, what it is and how it works. This has nothing to do with knowing. It can be known in that sense that it can be clear, very clear, this message, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything. Even when there's no me, nothing changes. That's the strange thing, because we think that there will be something like enlightenment or something, and I did have some image about that, something. It's not like that. You can't imagine what it is, because it's everything, and it's already everything. And we can't imagine that, because when it's everything, you can't imagine that. When there's something, you can make an image of that and trying to find out how to reach that, or what to do, or how to know. When it's everything, it's impossible. And the everything is not something, it's not with a capital, it's everything. So when there's feeling very tired, then there's tiredness. It changes all the time. When there's me, there's trying to deal with it, trying to put something on it, trying to name it, trying to make something happen that it disappears, or that it stays, because when it's nice, then you want it to stay. And it's always about you, about me. It's always, I want to feel good in the end, and what can I do? What can I know? What can I find out to make it more comfortable? And this message is about there's nothing. There's nothing to do. And it's not only there's nothing to do, there's no one. There's no one. There's nothing inside. It seems so obvious that there's somebody inside, and there's somebody, everything is happening through that person, you. And then suddenly you hear there's no one. There's no one doing things. There's no one experiencing things. There's only what happens. And that what happens is an appearance. So nothing is real. That's another part of this message. Nothing is real. We are so, when there's someone, it seems like everything is real. You are real. I am real. The circumstances are real. The world is real. The earth is real. And then there's hearing, oh, nothing is real. It's only an appearance. That seems crazy. And that part of this message is most of the time is not even heard. And then it's about, yeah, but I can do that, because when it's good to be healthy for my body, then I do that. It's very convincing that you are doing that, but there's no one. And it can happen or it doesn't happen. I don't know. But there's no one doing that. So when there's no me, there's also no guilt or responsibility. That's huge. No guilt, no responsibility. That seems two of the things that happens a lot, and that seems to give a lot of problems, or seems that it's like it's because of that I'm feeling bad, or a lot of stories about that and thinking how to deal with that seems to be going on. When there's a me, there's a story. Me is the story. Me is the story about what's going on, and I don't like this, and I want something else, and how can I do that? No me, no story. Also, no escape. No me, it's no escape. So that what happens, that's full on. It's always full on, but it seems like when there's a story, it seems like it's not that intense. And aliveness can feel like, I want aliveness because I want to feel alive, and I'm feeling like, oh, nothing is going bad. And aliveness is everything. So it's not feeling alive like much energy. Feeling alive is also something like down or anything else. It doesn't matter. There's nothing excluded. So it's everything. And there's not anything for anybody. It's what's happening. That's it. In that sense, it's very simple. It's the only thing what's saying is this is what apparently is happening, and that's it. It's not going anywhere. It doesn't have any meaning. We think everything has meaning because I am there, so everything seems to be important. Life doesn't have any meaning. It apparently happens or not. It's going this way or that way. It seems like that. And there's also no time. So when there is me and my life, there's also time, because I lived my life, and there was a yesterday, and I was born, and things are going somewhere. And hopefully I'm going in a few years, or maybe in a few months, there will be some changes. There is no time, so that's the story. There's only what is, and that's it. There's no before, there's no after. That's huge also. So there are no consequences. There's only innocence. That what happens, and that's it. And that what happens, and that's it. We can talk about that. It doesn't change anything, but it's, in a way, it's fun to talk about it. Or we don't know. There's only not knowing. We can try to know, then that's what's happening. Nothing is wrong. And that's something that me doesn't see. Me, there's always two things, like good and bad, in a way. So there's always something wrong. There seems to be something wrong, seems to be not really like there's something not right yet, something like that. That's the me, that's not the me, that's me. And when me is not there, that whole thing about this is right or this is wrong is also not there. Doesn't mean it's better. There's no good and bad. Life isn't about good or bad. Life is. It's very simple, and in the same time, it's impossible to think about it, to really understand this. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't need to understand. There's no need for anything. So there's also no need to understand this message. There's no need to record this, or how do you say, to remember these words. This is not about words. Words can be told, and when you go through one sentence that is told here, it's not the message. It can be in the words, but it's underneath that there's something else happening too. This is not about good and bad. This is not about wrong or right. It's about nothing. It's going nowhere. And we can talk about that. So we can talk in the story. That's the crazy thing too, because some people say, yeah, but you're talking in the story. The story is also what's apparently happening. It doesn't have any meaning. Well, we can do that. We can talk in the story and we can explain things. That explaining can happen. And maybe it's clear or maybe it's not clear. It doesn't matter. And there can be any question. There are no wrong questions, of course. There are any questions. And if there are questions in the story, questions about knowing things, it doesn't matter. When that's coming, then that's what's happening. So we can talk about this and we see what's happening.
Hi, Rose.
Hello, hi.
Hello. Hey. Uh, it appeared that something happened a few minutes ago. I was with a friend, and
Yeah.
a big bird, flew through my window,
Mm.
and it fell to the ground. So we ran down the stairs, and he was a little bit in awe. He was like a little bit sad because he said life has been lost. This bird was life, and his neck was like twisted, and he was dead on the spot. He was dead, and he was sad about it. He said life lost. But I don't think there was life lost. So I was curious about what you have to say about this, that life can be gone or be born. What's your perspective?
Yeah, there's nothing born and there's nothing dying.
No.
There's only what happens. And in the story we talk about that. And it's not that I don't say like, oh, he's not dying, or that you can say anything in the story. Of course, it's talking like that. But there's no death.
No.
And there can be sadness. There can be sadness. But we always think that sadness is because of something. There can be sadness, and that's it. And in the story we say, that's because he died or she died, or this bird died.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You can say that. It doesn't matter. But there's only sadness, and there's a story with that. There's no time, and that's strange because we're so used to before, and there's something born. We are born. We are going to die. Maybe there's something, and we don't like going to die because then everything is finished. So there's something going on after death. Something we try to because it's always about continuation. That's normally it's because then death seems to be awful because we are not continuing. And there's already no continuing. There's no rose, for example, like this. There's no rose. That's the scene. There's only this seeing that face, maybe. That's it. That's everything. Everything is lost. And that's it. And there's nothing going on about that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. We are so in the story, like we seeing a body and it's always there and it's solid and I'm here and other people I love are here and we have to do. There's so much going on in that. It's a story, but it seems it's not only in the head or in the mind. It's so embodied and it's so hypnotizing and convincing.
Yeah.
So normally most people don't talk about that. Don't even question that. Yeah. You can't say to yourself, "Oh, but there's no death, so it's all right." No, that's something else. That's the concept.
I understand.
It can be, it's just sadness can happen, or because the bird is dying, and we think it's because of the bird is dying. Doesn't matter because of anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's because then when you, what people also do is knowing this and saying, "Yeah, there's no this, there's no before."
Yeah.
So, and then it can be a little bit more flat.
Yeah.
And then, nothing is important anymore. And but yeah, that's a concept. That's a way of living. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was two things at the time. I was really enjoying the bird, even it was dead. It was beautiful, that colorful feathers. And at the same time, nothing happened. But at the same time, also appearing like, this bird is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything can happen, and in the same time, it may be sadness of it can so much be there. Yeah. Sure, that's life. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh wait. To be honest, there's a chat. To be honest, I cannot say that I know anything about life and death and what is happening. No, me neither. I don't know. I don't. This is not about knowing. I don't know anything. There can be feelings or there can be talking. It's not that before I have a list and then I start talking what I know. It's coming, but it's not only here coming. That it's always like that. So that's life. Life is talking, and we think everything has a meaning. So we listen to the words and what it's saying and what it's meaning and that. So the abstract mind is doing a lot of things there. It's talking. That's it. This is not knowing. There's no. Life can't be known. It is. And we don't know what's happening next. As we're saying about next, we don't know. So, and what is going on? That's can sadness or something else. But that's not about knowing. That's maybe it's walking or there are feelings or it's something else. A lot of times it's just wall. The wall is walling, something like that. That's it. It's not always about feeling or about you. The not knowing can be joyful and a relief. Yeah. That's it. Can be sure. Yeah. We try to know because we think then it will go better. I don't know. Sometimes it seems to work and it's like, oh yeah. Sometimes not. There's no need for anything. That's amazing. That it's everything. So no need to understand, no need to do anything or anything else. It's what's happening. Moving a hand. That's it. Oh, that's it. Sitting on a chair. It's nothing special. Life is not about special. That's what people think, and we make it. We want to be special or known or seen, because we think then we'll be going better and I will be seen or well, somebody. Life isn't not about somebody. Life is everything. That's the joy. It cannot be not life. It's also stones.
Hi, Rosemary.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah. I guess it's just for having a conversation. I don't know. Yes. Yeah. You know, this morning, there's a girlfriend of mine. She has heavy back pains, and it's very difficult for her to move. And her ex is helping her, and then there was a thought, shall I offer my help also? And then I thought, no.
I don't know. I don't know what's the best.
Yeah, me neither.
But it's not. There's no girlfriend. There's no relation. There's no girlfriend. There's only this, and that's it. Sitting here, sitting. There can be thoughts, maybe. Well, and there can be maybe action. There can be walking towards somebody. This is not. Is it not? There's not. How do you say that? Helping is a story. There can be maybe put a hand on someone's shoulder. I don't know, something like that. That's it. I don't know what's going on, and maybe there's something and people say, "Oh, thank you, that was nice," or nothing happening, or it's no, I don't want that. I don't know. Anything can be there. There's no one. There's also in that friend. There's no one.
Yeah.
So there's nothing going on about that. It's going bad. Yeah, there can be pain or there can be joy. That's strange because we think we need help. We need to help.
Yeah.
There's no need. There's no need for help. Help can happen, or it seems like help.
Oh, yeah.
And it doesn't matter what happens. That's also strange. We a lot of times into when there are relations with friends and we think, oh, this should be like this, or I should be like this, or no, that's a story. I should be friendly. I should be helping.
Yeah.
A lot of behavior like that.
Yes. But now I decided to stay at home, and now I think I'm making progress. But that's also a story.
Ah, no, that's also a story.
Yes.
Oh, we want to feel good about ourselves. Oh, wow. Yeah, of course. Yeah. It's so strong. You cannot say, "Oh, I'm not doing that anymore." No, it can be so strong. And then finally it's subtly it's still that. But so what? Then it's that. It's not wrong. It's just saying, "Oh, I'm so good now." Why not? Sometimes you can laugh about that or not. But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Or you can laugh with the friends like, "I was busy, so good, what I did." And then you have your story. So anything can it be. So what? It's going nowhere. Life is going nowhere. It's anything, everything.
Yeah, but that responsibility, that was really strong.
Yeah, sure. That can be so strong, and that behaving in a certain way. We're so like there can be if it's talking in the story. There's so much going on about this is good. Like from young, then there can be such a story about that. Like, and it's embodied, so it's not only knowing that it's in the that you know that you do, and you cannot decide I'm not doing that anymore because it's embodied, so that's energetic, and we think this is better than that. It's not about certain behavior. It can be anything. It can be like angry or anything, and we think this is better than that. That's what's this message. It's not this or that. It's everything. There's nothing wrong. There's not a certain behavior is better. No, it's everything. That's the freedom. But that's so amazing. We are so into this is better than that. That's so embodied. So you can't say to yourself, "Oh no, now everything is okay." That's a concept. And then suddenly something's falling away. You don't even know what. Sometimes is that, and then suddenly it's like, "Oh, how could I think that?" And because that's energetic, it's not about doing that or not doing that. No, that's also the awful side because you cannot do it. We want to do it. We want to undo it or something like that.
Yeah.
No, there's no one. So. That's what's coming out. That's it. That's it. And it's not always nice. Of course not. So then it's a certain feeling or a certain, I don't know. It's everything. Look in nature. It's everything. It's eating other animals or I don't know. It's everything. Look at trees. They have everything. It's happening. It can be blanch. How do you say that? It doesn't matter. But it's everything.
Yeah,
and we think we have to be in a certain way. That's that me, that story about I have to be in a certain way because then and da 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 da. That's the suffering. And we can't. It's already everything. That's also the misunderstanding. It's like, oh my God, when it's suddenly like that. It's suddenly, it was always like that, of course. And there was something so strong that said, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. In a subtle way sometimes. Or it's very strong. Yeah. It's amazing to like there's nothing wrong. You can't even hear it sometimes because that's so huge because certain things that can't be right. Something like that. It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not, we are not something like, oh, this is the body and there's happening something in it and I have a story about this. I am like that and I'm like that. That's what we do also normally. It's much more simple. There's sitting, there's maybe a feeling, there's a thought, but it's so quick and it's already gone. It's already not there. So there's no story. There's no, this is happening after that and this happening after that. So, yeah. And we're thinking, oh, I'm angry all the time. No, it's not like that. It's drinking coffee and sitting and angry and then it's you can't even name it because it's
everything.
quick is even to it's everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the same with my mother. So now she is 85 and now she gets help for cleaning her house. And then I thought, should I help her also? And
It's the same story.
yeah, it's the same story, and I also didn't. So yeah.
Ooh.
Because it's also not necessary. Yeah, but that was the
But
point.
that isn't about necessary. It's about what's happening. I don't know what there is nothing necessary, but I don't. It's about what's happening. Maybe there's happening cleaning a house or not. I don't know. But it's not for anyone. There's no mother. There are no relations because there's no one. So there's no one, and there can be suddenly like somebody's coming, and there's talking to someone, and it's called mother. But and there can be a conversation, and that's it. There's no need for anything. But there can be certain behavior. Then that's what's happening. So it's going nowhere, and nothing is wrong. It's what's happening, what seems to happen, what's apparently happening also. We're so in the story, like, oh, what should I do, and all those things can be there. It's a dream, but then there's also a dream, and underneath that, there's sitting or doing the garden. I don't know. Yeah, it's very simple. It's maybe too simple.
Yeah, it is. There are beautiful ladybugs in the garden eating the aphids. The ants. Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. Yes, that's it.
Can be there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. It doesn't have to be nice also. They can be thinking about your mother and thinking, now what should I do? And suddenly there's coffee on your blouse. So it can be anything. Yeah. It's very normal.
Hi, Rose.
Hello. Hi.
Okay. Hi. I'm speaking from Italy, so I don't speak very well. Okay. I discovered you just some weeks ago, and it was very strong what I heard from you. I listened many satsang from other people. But what happened in these days, what I discovered that I look at what's happening around me is like a miracle. Yes.
Yeah.
And every second is a miracle. So I look at the things and what's happening, everything is like something that I cannot understand what is, why, how it's possible. Everything is there. And I feel I can just say a miracle, because I don't know why, how it's possible. But in a way, I can suddenly appreciate everything is happening. I don't know what's happening, but I appreciate and I enjoy. I'm usually are very, very sad and depressive. So I don't enjoy, and I don't have any kind of desire. But the last days happens that everything is a miracle. Every second is a miracle, because I was very suggested by your, I don't know.
I said that.
Yes, in very other meetings, and not today. And in fact, I don't know what's happening around me. And so I look every second, every instant, every moment as if it were a miracle. And this changed completely my sense of living, because every second is a new miracle, like if everything is new appearance. It's very strange. I was just to share, but it's I cannot really. I didn't drop the ego. I didn't have any insight, but just the thing that I don't know. But it's incredible. Everything is happening. So everything is it's everything is like yes.
You can't say.
Yeah,
Don't try. You can't say, because how can you say that? No.
It's a grace. Grace. Yes, you can say. Wow! It's just yes, wow, yeah. So it's,
it can be anything. It can also be like pain or something like that.
Yes, even pain. It's
that's crazy. It's crazy. You can't even say that to other people, because they say like, "Oh, what you're saying." But I can hear it. Yeah, sure, I can hear it. It's a miracle. It is a miracle.
And that's just because I don't know anything. So
you don't know. It's not because of you don't know. You don't know. So then suddenly something falls away, and you don't even know what it is. It was there, and suddenly it isn't, and you don't know what it doesn't matter, and suddenly that's it, and you don't know why or whatever. Doesn't matter.
That's exactly how it happens now. And everything seems so
don't try. Don't because when you try, you try and you can't give it a name. That's the strange thing. You try to make like saying how it is, and you can't. But that's also the amazing miracle, because you can't say what it is and how it is. In that sense, when this first happened, not happened, but this was first for me, was some years ago. Then I couldn't speak about it. I didn't know how to say it. How can you say that? I don't know. How can you talk about it? I didn't speak for years about this. For how can you say what it? You can't say what it is, or why, or how. So, and suddenly there was some questions, and I started talking with people. But so yeah, it just is. Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, perhaps in a way I wanted to explain in the name of miracle, because just because I cannot explain it's a miracle, I just put this etiquette, miracle.
Yeah.
But yes, it's the only name I can use. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
thank you. Thank you.
Rosemarijn,
Yeah.
can you say something about the difference, or something about timelessness and eternity?
Oh, eternity. I'm not so good in all those words. That timelessness, there's no time. That what I did say already something about that. When there's no time, there's only this. There's no before, there's no after, there's only this. And this it's tiny. It's not a big thing or a big state or something like that. Or we don't have to be in this, something like that. There's no time. So there's only what's apparently happening. It's in a way it's very simple, but we are so into time and the past, and this happened in the past, and maybe there will be a future that's better and things like that. There's no future, and there's also no past. That's a dream. And there's also no one, and nothing is real. So nothing is real. That's something that's amazing. That it's not a real body. It's an appearance. When there's an appearance, there's nothing going on. Then there's also no time. That's crazy. How can there be a time in an appearance? There's nothing going on. There's no path or road to something. So nothing matters. It's not saying to yourself nothing matters. It's nothing matters because it's everything. It's everything and that's it. Without any meaning, no purpose. It's just that. As it is. It can be a feeling, it can be moving the hand, sitting. It's very tiny and simple. It's not a special thing for us or something like that. I'm feeling now much more joy. It's not about us. It's not about me or you or anybody. There is no one. So that's the freedom, because it's not about me wanting to that life goes in a certain way that I am feeling more comfortable or more free or more not so alone anymore or anything like that. It's not about me. Wow, that's the freedom. And so there's nothing going on like changing it or not changing. It's what it is. And that's timeless. I don't know eternity, I don't know so much that word, but timeless, everything is timeless because there's no time. It's what it is.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of words about this, and I'm not using so much all those words because for me it makes it very much more abstract and in a certain way. And it's very simple and normal. No need for knowing things or understanding. It's already there. It's already what's going on. It's already what's happening. How is there a need to know?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You can know or not know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's sitting. That's it. Eating cheese. Yeah. And it's so nothing special. It's what it is. And that's the amazing. That's what she said. Oh, that's the miracle. It's so tiny and what it is. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not that you're all the time like, oh, it's more subtle. It's more subtle. It's like, and it doesn't go anywhere. So there's no time in like, and in the story there can be time and talking about that, and that doesn't matter. The strange thing is it isn't that serious anymore.
Mm.
Or important.
Yes. Thanks.
Mm.
Hello, Rose.
Hi, hello.
It's me again.
Okay.
I just wondered when this amazing that I felt the last days. It's about everything I see and everything I hear and everything happens, but not about my thoughts. When it's when my thinking is coming, so I don't know how. It's not amazing anymore. I just want to know why, what's its back. So I just ask you, because it's a long time I'm thinking, okay, I have very big problems to here to rent a part of my house. Every time I did once 10 years ago, and it was terrifying. I risked to go to prison because of many false things that happened. And then I try again 10 years later, and again it was terrible. They destroyed part of my house. So I wonder, okay, it must be something wrong in the way I face this thing to rent the house. So I just wonder, so it's a big turning inside my thoughts, why I do like this, why it happens like this. So I cannot just be amazed.
But when that whole thing is just collapsing and like, oh, there's something else, and then that whole it's like it's going on. It's used to do that, so it's going on for a while. It can go on for a while. It doesn't mean anything, but it seems like it's important, and that goes on. But there's something not that interested anymore, or there's something else going on, but you don't know how to. So that's what's going on. And then what I know for myself is that did go on for a while, but there was no one listening anymore. So then that's after some, I don't know how many times, but then it get less because it's not so interesting, or there's nothing going on. It seems like it's very important, but when there's nobody listening, it's not that it can't be that strong anymore. So then there's something else happening, and you don't know what is going on because you think, oh, I have to work out what's the best way. Maybe it's not like that. Maybe you don't have to work out things. Maybe it's going in a certain way. That doesn't mean it's going nicely or so. I don't know. But the thought seems to say, like, oh, that's that me thing that goes on. But it's not even the me. It's just thoughting. But it's used to do that, and then suddenly, I don't know if it's less interesting anymore. I don't know. Maybe that's gonna happen. It's not. The content of the thought seems very important. That's what the abstract mind can think, like, oh, there's a content and it's important because da 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 da. Nothing is. There's nothing. There's no content. There's no, how do you say that? Meaning. There's no meaning in thoughts. It's just thoughting, a lot of energy, a lot of words. It goes on like that. Yeah, and everything's going on, like sitting or doing things. Yeah. There's no need to deal with thoughts. That's something else. That's some other teaching, you could say. This is not about thought. Thoughts can happen, but so what? It's the same as drinking coffee, not more or less important. But we are used to go into the content, doing things like that. Sorry?
There's no, sorry. Hello. Yes,
Yeah.
there's no meaning to, yes, there has no meaning at all to think about what happened 10 years ago, what happened 1 year ago. Yeah, it's just thinking.
Yeah, it's just thinking. And it seems like important because we are used to that, so it clings and it goes on. But when you think, yeah, it's so, and then suddenly it's not that important. I don't know how it's going here for you, but it's suddenly like, oh, what is going on there? A lot of thoughts going on, and it seems very important. Come on, what is that? I don't know. You can't say that to yourself, but it's suddenly like, oh, it's just thoughts. That's it. It doesn't mean that by thinking about things, then it's going better. That's a dream.
That means that every psychology doesn't help. Repetitive thinking or repetitive acts have no have nothing to resolve.
No, because there's no one. There's no one. So it seems like very logical. That seems like if you think like that, and then that seems very logical. But there's no one doing that. So if you can say to yourself, oh, I will start that and I will do that. And maybe you do that for a while and then you forget, or then you are not so much in, and then think, oh, I didn't do it well and I have to do that. There's no one. So it doesn't see that it's everything. It wants something for you that feels good. Life isn't about you. Life doesn't see you. Life doesn't see people like, oh, I want to take care of that and that person. No, I don't want to take care of that person. No, it's energy. It's energy. And we don't, there's no one doing that.
Yeah.
And we think by thinking we're gonna do it better or figure it out or doing it better than the last time. And think that's the dream. It's a dream. Thoughts don't have any power. They don't have any meaning. That's something.
Yes. Yes, yeah, clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Rose.
Hello. Hi.
I just had that feeling to say hi, but I don't really have a question. But
Oh no.
it's like it's just I don't know, just speaking to you, just
Yeah.
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 And today I was like, apparently I was completely lost in something. And suddenly I realize right now that these kind of meetings, I don't know, they are like this, I don't know, there's something like they are like a bell somehow. I don't know, like it's a way, like a waking up, but for no one. And it's I just realized that this whole story thing, like,
Yeah.
is so bad. sobered out,
Yeah.
like.
Ah,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it can be like so, but also when there's biking, that can be like that too. It's not only in this meeting.
Yeah.
This stories can be so into, and then suddenly there's walking outside, and it's completely forgotten. It's amazing how that works. It seems like the most important that there's something going on, and then suddenly it comes back sometimes, and then goes on. But
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
always there.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
almost like this hypnotic trance suddenly, like
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
Oh.
And then suddenly, like, oh, this is very, and then suddenly, and then it's even, and then it's gone for maybe you're speaking to somebody, and then talking about nothing, and then you walk, and then you think, oh my God, and it goes on. It's like amazing how strong, and then it's just a different story. Yeah. It's amazing how strong that can be. That it has to be. I have to do that something with that, or I don't know what
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
happening. But,
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
mm,
Yeah. It's like this idea of that there's something wrong and there's a problem and
mm,
about this
yeah,
story and something has to be solved. Like that's what
yeah.
often happens then, and it's
That's
like
it. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And I have to do that. I have to do that, and it's completely that. Yeah, yeah, but yeah. It's not. Yeah. So doesn't matter so much. But,
No,
yeah.
no.
Yeah, for me, like it feels like, oh, this everything is going wrong now, and it feels like that. And then suddenly, after a day, you think, oh, what? And then somebody asks you something about it, and you think, oh, yeah, what was going on? Yeah, it's completely forgotten. Oh, wow, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
thanks, Rose, for chatting. Thanks.
I had it with my children when they were very young, and with the boys, and they had some fighting with other children. I was thinking, oh, how could I do that? What can I say to them? And then suddenly, and I was going out and trying I figured something out, and then they were already playing with each other, totally forgotten that there was something going on. So it's amazing how strong that can be, that you think, I have to do something about this or that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's actually quite relaxing. Like it's not that
Mm.
dramatic. Like then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's very simple.
Yeah.
Life is very simple in that, like
Yeah.
simple. Yeah.
And there can be something that's going on.
Yeah.
There can be something going on that seems like, oh, there's some. I have to phone somebody to make it right, or in the house, or things like that. But that's it. Then, yeah, there's not a whole story about that.
Yeah. Oh, and what recently I met with two friends of mine, and what I observed somehow is like that they're like like let's say if there would be like this naturally and like let's say a natural kind of silence, like just nothing to be said, and still like being together. I observed that there is somehow like a tiny bit of like not so much for me, but I observe for them it's maybe uncomfortable to not talk. Like yeah, then you can see like it's sense that somehow something needs to be talked about. So something then kicks in, and then we have another topic to, and it's not just that you just not sit here and just whatever enjoy the coffee or so. But it's not strong. I observed it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be there. Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Funny.
Mm.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Hi, Rose.
Hello. Hi.
Hey. There's not a question here, but I just want to say I'm very grateful that that you do these meetings.
Oh.
So last week I was within the meeting, and it was amazing. It still is. This message, there was so much nonsense for me, with a lot of teachers and always this and and so you cut right through it. There was nothing around it, and it was the past week I was and still am. It's wonderful. Like it's a lot of I can't explain it, of course, but it hits me, and it's wonderful. So I found it so funny that I was in like a very philosophical. It was I had a very nice glimpse about a year ago with a really good teacher, and so I was like yes, and then my mind took off. All right, but what is consciousness then? And what blah 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 blah. So all the energy went into this thing. So I looked up online like satsang, and like there's something, and then you said these words like it is what it is, and nobody. And then I was like, okay.
Just laughing also, like, oh my god.
It was really funny. I was So
somewhere you know, and then suddenly it's like, oh,
yeah. And like every thought that I had about everything just
oh, that's amazing how strong that can be, and then so much busy with that, and then suddenly gone. And it's nothing, and it seems so important.
And it was like okay, one more question or one more book, and there's the answer. You know, the next page.
Oh,
the answer.
It's always some next answer. It's endless. It's amazing how that works. It's going on, and it's not even noticed, but you think it's so into that. Oh, you can be like
it's just like,
and then suddenly poof. It's like in the movies, like poof.
So there was last week. So and I also saw that there was a lot of excitement to come next week. So right now in this meeting, I was just excited. Like I saw Saturday again. I'm like, all right, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. And it's also very nice that that you talk about this, because there's not a lot of people that I can talk about this with. You know, sometimes there's then a loneliness feeling, like come on, or that's also it's all right.
There are not so many people talking about this. I don't have so much friends also like that. It's some people, then suddenly with someone like, oh, okay, there's something else, and then it's not all that information thing, and that's going on.
So it's nice to hear a different sound from somebody than this is going on in the world, and this is going on, and this should be better. Energy that goes with this. So a lot of serious energy and tense than the faces of the people.
And it's always about there's something wrong, and it's so obvious. We have to know what's wrong. We know what's wrong, and we have to do the right thing, and we talk about that. A lot of information about that, and and something like that. And it's amazing how important that seems. And and then we're drinking coffee and doing, it's amazing how important that is. And I can't see that. There's no world. And saying that to somebody, seems like awful, but it's not, that's something. It's not something like, oh, this is the truth, but I don't see that. That's more like it. It's not that this is the truth or something. It's like, well, I don't see it like that. It's much more subtle, and it's not about being wrong or right. And that's amazing. It's when there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
How can we talk about things like that? That's huge when there's nothing wrong or right. That's people can't think about that. It's most of the time it's something like this is better than that.
Yeah.
And when that's not, then it's out of the hands or something like that.
Yeah. Somebody knocks on the door, so I'm going to mute for a second.
Okay.
Come in.
This is about death. It's the death of what's going on. Oh, bye. It's about death. There's no one. There's no one going anywhere. It's not about something. It's going somewhere. In the fight, it's also not about death. It's about nothing. It's about what is, and what apparently is it, and it's everything. So there's nothing going on about this is right or wrong, this is the best way, this is the good behavior or the bad behavior. It's about what is. And it's very simple and very normal. And it's not saying this is better than that. It's not saying I know what the truth is, I know what the best is. I don't know. It's what's going on. And that's it. That's everything. It's what is happening. So maybe that's happening sitting for a screen, or that's happening anything. It doesn't matter what it is. So it's sitting, that's it. And it's not, it's crazy. It's crazy that it's everything, because that's the freedom. There's nothing going on by you have to do this, you don't have to do that. It's everything. And it hasn't nothing to do with feeling all right, or it's had nothing to do with you're good, you're busy in a good way or not busy in a good way. It's not about feeling good. It's only a describing of what is. So when there's a feeling, then that's what's happening. That's it. Nothing more than that. And when there's pain, then there's pain. Nothing more or less than that. It's what's happening. And everything is an appearance. So that's also very crazy, because we are so used that everything is real and solid and really happening. And then there's somebody saying, no, it's an appearance. Nothing is real. It seems very real and very convincing. That's also crazy. This message is crazy. And it's fun talking about this. Thank you.